Integrity is one of the most valued qualities in the workplace, regardless of industry or role. Employers want to know they can trust their employees to make the right choices, even when no one is watching. During interviews, integrity-based questions help hiring managers assess a candidate's honesty, accountability, and ethical judgment. Candidates are often asked situational or behavioral questions that reveal how they respond to moral dilemmas, handle confidential information, or admit mistakes. When preparing for an interview focused on integrity, it's essential to reflect on your values and how they influence your actions at work. These questions are less about technical expertise and more about character. Employers want to see that you can balance doing what's right with achieving results. They are also looking for consistency between your words and actions, which is why authentic, honest responses are key. In this video, we'll explore some common integrity interview questions, provide sample answers, and share practical tips to help you prepare and demonstrate your credibility in a professional setting. Question 1. Can you describe a time when you faced an ethical dilemma at work? Answer begins here. In a previous job, I discovered a small accounting error that no one else had noticed. While correcting it would have required extra work and delayed reporting, I immediately brought it to my manager's attention. We fixed the issue, and I suggested adjustments to prevent similar errors in the future. It reinforced my belief that honesty protects both the organization and my own credibility. Tip: choose an example where you did the right thing even though it was difficult. Question 2. What does integrity mean to you in the workplace? Answer begins here. To me, integrity means being honest, transparent, and consistent. It's about doing the right thing even when it's inconvenient. Integrity builds trust with colleagues, clients, and leadership, and it ensures decisions are made in a fair and ethical manner. Tip: provide a definition and tie it back to professional behavior. Question 3. Tell me about a time you admitted a mistake at work. Answer begins here. In one project, I miscalculated the timeline for deliverables. Instead of covering it up, I immediately informed my supervisor, explained the oversight, and adjusted the plan. I also added more checkpoints to prevent similar mistakes. Owning the error not only solved the problem quickly but also earned respect from my team. Tip: show that you take accountability and learn from mistakes. Question 4. How would you handle being asked to do something that goes against company policy? Answer begins here. If I were asked to do something against policy, I would respectfully explain why it isn't appropriate and suggest an alternative solution that achieves the same goal without breaking rules. I believe following policies is essential for fairness and compliance, and I would never compromise my values for convenience. Tip: stress respectfulness while standing firm in your principles. Question 5. Have you ever witnessed dishonest behavior in the workplace? How did you respond? Answer begins here. Yes, I once noticed a coworker taking credit for someone else's work. I first spoke privately to understand their perspective, then encouraged them to correct it. When the issue persisted, I escalated it to my manager because it was unfair to the actual contributor. Integrity means protecting both fairness and accountability. Tip: employers want to see you balance fairness with professionalism. Question 6. How do you handle confidential information? Answer begins here. I treat confidential information with the utmost respect. Whether it's employee records, financial data, or private discussions, I never share details unless authorized. I follow security protocols and keep sensitive files secure. Maintaining confidentiality is an essential part of integrity and trust. Tip: emphasize strict adherence to confidentiality policies. Question 7. Can you give an example of when honesty helped you build trust at work? Answer begins here. During a client project, I realized a deliverable would take longer than expected. Instead of overpromising, I was upfront with the client and explained the reasons for the delay. They appreciated my transparency and agreed to adjust the timeline. This honesty strengthened our relationship and earned me their trust for future projects. Tip: use examples where honesty created positive long-term results. Question 8. How do you balance integrity with meeting business goals? Answer begins here. I believe integrity and results go hand in hand. Cutting corners may deliver short-term wins, but it damages reputation and trust. By following ethical practices and setting realistic expectations, I ensure business goals are met in a way that upholds the organization's values. Tip: show that you value sustainable success over shortcuts. Question 9. Describe a time when you stood up for what you believed in, even if it was unpopular. Answer begins here. In a team meeting, a proposal was made that I felt put employee safety at risk. While most of the team agreed with it, I spoke up and shared my concerns. After discussion, leadership acknowledged the risks and revised the plan. It showed me that courage and integrity often mean speaking out, even when it's uncomfortable. Tip: highlight moral courage and advocacy for what's right. Question 10. How do you demonstrate integrity in daily work? Answer begins here. I demonstrate integrity by being consistent, showing up on time, meeting deadlines, keeping promises, and treating others with respect. Integrity isn't only about big decisions, it's in the small daily actions that show colleagues they can rely on me. Tip: show that integrity is part of your routine, not just major events. Question 11. Have you ever faced pressure to compromise your values? Answer begins here. Yes, I once worked with a client who requested that I overlook certain reporting details. Although it risked losing their business, I explained why it wasn't possible and offered compliant alternatives. In the end, they respected my honesty and continued working with us. Tip: stress that you won't compromise values, but you also seek respectful solutions. Question 12. Why is integrity important in a professional environment? Answer begins here. Integrity builds the foundation for trust. Without it, relationships with clients, colleagues, and stakeholders fall apart. It ensures fairness, accountability, and credibility in the workplace. For me, integrity is not optional, it's essential for both personal and organizational success. Tip: tie your answer back to long-term professional growth. Closing thoughts. Integrity interview questions allow employers to assess your core values and how they influence your decisions in the workplace. These questions go beyond technical skills and test your honesty, accountability, and consistency. Employers are looking for candidates who are dependable, trustworthy, and able to make ethical choices under pressure. When preparing for these interviews, think of real-life examples where your actions reflected integrity. Authenticity is crucial. Fabricated or vague answers will likely backfire. Instead, focus on honesty, even if your example shows a mistake you learned from. Interviewers appreciate candidates who can admit errors, take responsibility, and show growth. Remember, integrity is not just about one-time decisions but about daily habits. Keeping commitments, respecting confidentiality, treating others fairly, and doing the right thing consistently. By preparing thoughtful answers and emphasizing your ethical principles, you can demonstrate that you are not only qualified but also a trustworthy professional who will positively contribute to the organization's culture. With integrity at the center of your professional identity, you'll leave a lasting impression in any interview and build the foundation for long-term success.